Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Paws and Claws run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're trying another character that I've really wanted to give a go with the pets, the Old. The Old's smaller map, of course, means that the pets will be concentrated in a much smaller area, so there will be they'll be able to deal damage to more of the enemies at once, and they will cover more of the ground. In aid of that, I'm going to be going an engineering build, so we're going to be able to fill the entire map with just little guys that run around killing things for us, or, in the case of the turrets, stand still doing so. But basically, the goal is to make it so there's no safe space for the enemies to stand. Definitely want to kill this tree. Our turret will help us take out the rest of these enemies before the end of the wave. And I'm going to wait for these guys to group up because I want my last attack to hit them all. Though I actually mistimed that. I should have got those extra 3 kills there. Timing the swing there was important, and I messed up the timing. I'm going to roll here and roll again, and we'll take 5 harvesting. And then Corrupted Shard, definitely worth locking early. I do like Ugly Tooth on the Old, because the Old has slower enemy movement speed. This stacks linearly, so if you hit an enemy 4 times, it moves at almost half of its normal speed. So Ugly Tooth is actually very good on this character. That said, I think I want to get economy items first, so I'm going to pass on the Ugly Tooth. Let's roll. Coffee is a strong enough item that we're definitely going to take it, though, and then we'll pick up a wrench, roll again. Roll again, roll again. Alright, we're getting really unlucky on finding wrenches. I could take screwdrivers and do a mix of wrenches and screwdrivers, but I think I just want to do turrets for this run. I think that's going to be more fun overall. I've done a lot of screwdriver old runs on the channel previously. So only 2 weapons in the first shop on a character that starts with extra harvesting and has extra money is very unlucky. We spent a lot re-rolling to find our 3rd wrench, so hopefully we can make up for that pretty soon. We'll do a re-roll here. I'm looking for harvesting if possible, but I guess I'll take 3 engineering, and then now we can get 5 harvesting. The harvesting, of course, is great since it gets us to 21. On the Old, with 10% fewer enemies, that adds up to a lot less money over the course of the run, so you need this high harvesting early in order to make up for that economic penalty that you're going to be taking later on. Alright, better rolls there on finding wrenches, so we're up to 5 weapons found. Definitely nice. 3 early engineering is pretty good as well. That's going to set us up really well for extra killing power later. And the Old's main challenge is, especially with an engineering build like this, is that you're trying to fight against elites on this really small map where you have a lot less space to dodge and maneuver. Any chance we kill this? Nice. You're not guaranteed to get a Curse Alien spawn on wave 3, but when you do, if you can kill it, it's really powerful. Setting yourself up with Curse this early is good, and then we'll hopefully get 2 more Curse kills in the next 2 waves to go up to 6 Curse with our Corrupted Shard. We'll take the wrench, and in fact, I'm going to buy this entire shop. Knockback is quite good on engineering builds, and on the Old specifically, it's actually pretty nice because 3 knockback represent a larger proportion of the map that you're knocking enemies across, and since they move slower, it takes them longer to get back to you. We'll lock another wrench here. I don't think any of these are worth locking, so I'm just going to re-roll, and we'll lock the propeller hat. And once again, just while we're testing the pets, I'm saving my bands for level 2 items, just because I want more pets to show up. At this point, our wrenches are still a pretty important part of our damage setup. Later on, that will stop being the case, but for now, they definitely are. I'm going to try to push the Curse Alien into the middle so they start getting hit by turrets. Same with the Loot Alien. I want to make sure that the turrets are attacking it. This other Curse Alien, I'm pushing towards the turrets, and we did get it, so we actually managed to hit everything there. It did mean leaving some materials on the ground because of the pathing that I had to take to attack that without pushing it out of my turrets, but that's a price I'm very willing to pay. Here, I am going to take 6 movement speed. You really need to get move speed on the Old. Minus 10% move speed is very difficult to play early. We could take 2 regeneration here, but I think we could do better. Yeah, wow. a really interesting shop as well. 2 armor is great. Armor is, generally speaking, the best stat in the game. 10 luck is very helpful to get early, but I think on an engineering build, we really are supposed to just take the 4 engineering, the level 3 engineering, when it shows up. I'll buy the cake here. I'm gonna throw in 1 ban on the boiling water, although I want to use my bans for level 2 items. We're not building elemental damage currently, and this gives me a free reroll, so we just get a lot of money. We did find the ugly tooth again. I believe old is more likely to find this item, though I'm not 100% sure of that. I'll take the lumberjack shirt, and baby elephant I think we're going to pass on. Although it helps with our plan of dealing lots of little bits of damage to everything, we don't want to buy too much percentage damage until we find a bunch of pets, so I think we'll pass on that. Alright, we did get a scared sausage as well, which I will take, and a weird food is going to be great also. So, yeah, we banned 1 elemental damage item, but that's fine. We wouldn't have bought it just for the 1 scared sausage anyways. And scared sausage will work really well with... there's a lot of items that we will be very happy to combine with the scared sausage. Fried rice and ice cube are really good. Pets work really well with it. If we do end up with some incidental elemental damage, which is very likely, then the scared sausage itself will do some good damage. So lots of ways that ends up being a very powerful tool for us. Did we get both curse aliens this wave? It looks like we did. I didn't see the other one spawning. Actually, we might not have spawned the last curse alien, because we do have reduced enemy spawn, so you're not guaranteed to get both of them spawning, I believe. We'll take the lost duck here, and then 6 more move speed. I'll take 8 harvesting. Early harvesting still very good on this character. Getting an incendiary turret is extremely powerful on the old, because it covers such a large portion of the map. Take the scar and a second incendiary turret. We don't want too many of these, since the damage doesn't stack, but we're very happy to see at least 2. So I would say this run is going very well so far, though obviously we're looking to find some pets. That would be nice. And I'll let the turrets kill the gobbler, so it can eat some materials, and we got a few extra materials because of it. The way that the gobbler works is, as it eats materials, those materials multiply in value, so you get more back when you kill it, if you do manage to kill it. For this build, I wasn't that concerned about killing it, because it spawned right on our incendiary turret, so it was definitely going to die, but I didn't want to speed up the process of killing it by attacking it myself, because I wanted it to eat as many materials as possible before we killed it and got extra money out of it. I'll take 10 luck here. 3 elemental damage to work with the scared sausage is okay, but I think the 10 luck is much more relevant. And then, do I want 4 incendiary turrets? Probably not, so let's upgrade to a level 3 here. We will then upgrade our turrets. I'll buy Snake for sure, and Cute Monkey as well. Throw in 1 more reroll here, and Baby Gecko I'm not a huge fan of on the old. You just don't have a big problem picking up materials on a map this small. And if you do want pickup radius, then... or if you want extra pickup radius is a better way to get it, since it, again, covers such a huge portion of the map. I wouldn't mind a little bit of melee damage just to keep our weapon attacks relevant for a little longer. And also, if we do get a bonk dog, we'll be happy to have some melee damage. What I'm mostly interested in at this point, though, is getting healing. We currently have very little healing, and my armor is weak, so I need some defensive stats. On an engineering build, you really need defensive stats, because your weapons don't necessarily protect you very well. So here, I think I have to roll for armor. The 4 regen is very tempting, but this is our level 10 level up, so we're guaranteed to get level 3. And armor is the most important stat. We have 0 of it. So we're going to roll, and I'll roll again, and roll again. Okay, we finally found 3 armor. And then here, I'll take 3 regen. The attack speed was also tempting, but I think the regen is more important. Do I think I can get away with celery tea this wave? I think so. Engineering builds typically are not that worried about celery tea, since you're expecting to have to deal your damage very slowly to enemies anyways. So, because the damage is dealt slowly and spread out, having higher health enemies mostly isn't a huge penalty. Obviously, that changes when you're trying to kill specific high health enemies like loot aliens or curse aliens or obviously elites. But for general wave clear, you can see that we are still clearing the wave very effectively because the damage is just layering. Even though the enemies this wave have double health. So, celery tea we can get away with and get a little greedier early, which is nice on the old. You start with a pretty significant economic advantage on this character, but it starts to decrease over time. You can see we're making a little less money than other characters would on wave 8. I'll take 3 engineering just so we can keep up our clear speed. I'll definitely take the saltwater. It's a unique, so it pulls a level 2 item out of the pool. And it gives us some melee damage, which we want, and some attack speed, which we want. We're very happy to see the Ratzilla. This is one of the pets that we're looking for, and then we'll roll again. Another turret matters a lot as well. Do I want a Blood Leech? I think I'm going to lock the Blood Leech, but I might end up banning it, especially if we don't have the money to buy it and everything else. Blood Leech is a solid item in terms of regeneration, especially because we have pets as a way to use this lifesteal. Wrenches, of course, are not great with lifesteal since you don't lifesteal off the turrets, and the wrenches themselves attack really slowly. But pets work with lifesteal, so lifesteal has just become a much more valuable stat on a lot of builds that previously didn't want it. I would love a Pocket Factory. Obviously, anytime you can spawn a turret on this tiny map, it covers a big chunk of the map in potential damage. So Pocket Factory is always amazing for the old. Also, piercing shots of some kind would be really good. More pets, obviously, bottle mines and stuff like that would be amazing. But overall, we're doing great. Here, I'll take the attack speed over the movement speed, I think. Our attack speed is pretty low, and I do want to boost that. I think we can get a level 2 upgrade, and we'll take another attack speed. I'll pick up these. I think I will take the Blood Leech, just buy it here. We get the lifesteal, which is relevant when we do get a few more pets. We get some regen, which we need quite badly. So just making sure that we're continuing to grow our defensive capabilities, I think, matters the most here. All right, so we've got an incendiary turret. I'm going to buy that, lock these. Losing 3 speed for 3 engineering is not amazing on the reinforced steel. And I think a lot of engineering builds want to pass on it. The ranged damage might be okay if we get a cat, but I might end up banning reinforced steel, even though it technically gives us a stat that we want, because it's super expensive and penalizes us a stat that we are... that's a really high priority for the character. And also, I just want to ban level 2 items. So... I locked it because I was thinking I was going to buy it, but I think I have talked myself into banning it here. And maybe if we get another item that we can buy, we have 2 other things locked, we can ban it for a reroll. In which case, locking it will have worked out, but obviously if I was planning to ban it, I should have just done so last drop. We'll definitely take 3 more armor, and then 15 luck is really good here. Alright, so we got a little unlucky. The reinforced steel, locking it has not worked out. I'm going to go ahead and combine here and buy a wrench. We'll ban the reinforced steel, and then roll. We've got another... We have an incendiary turret item, so I'm happy to combine these incendiary turrets. So let's do that. We'll take explosion size. The level 4 turrets benefit from it. as do any landmines we might pick up and any dogs and bots we might pick up. We'll buy Fruit Basket, ban Alienize, and then I'm going to do a reroll here, and then we'll go to the Horde wave. Maybe, actually, I should have gotten one level 4 turret before the Horde wave. The explosions, of course, are helpful for AoE damage. But the laser turret is almost as good as the explosive turret for AoE damage when you don't have any explosion size increases. And it's a more natural level up path for our weapons. So I think it was better to stick on the level 3 weapons here. And in general, we're not going to have a problem with a Horde wave. This is also the easiest configuration for the old. Hordes are typically going to be a lot easier than elites. Well, excuse me. Rip to headphone users. The dad sneeze. So we're clearing the wave reasonably well. We'll take the whistle for sure. Here, I'm going to take 3 more engineering, because I'm feeling like my damage is a little bit on the low side. I'll buy the plastic explosives, and we'll take spicy sauce. I need more max HP. I'm going to ban the banner. The attack speed is nice, but losing 5 knockback, I think, is actually a real penalty on this character. And we'll buy both of these, do a reroll. Okay, well, we will get a lot of free elemental damage from the Will-O-Wisp. We're not currently using elemental damage for much, though I guess we do have one scared sausage. But since almost everything that we kill is going to be on fire, that's just a lot of free elemental damage, and we'll find something good to do with it. Whether that's another scared sausage, whether that's a Blazemander, whether that's a Frozen Heart. Just having a lot of a stat can definitely be useful. Or a Strange Book. I wanted to push the blobfish into the center of the arena before it died, so that when the lampreys spawned, they would be surrounded by my turrets. You should always, on this character, and on engineering builds in general, you should always be thinking about what direction you're pushing the enemies, because you want to move them where your turrets will attack them. So you should think not only about your character's movement, but also about what side of the enemies you want to stand on. Definitely take a coupon here. 3 more armor is great. Take some more move speed as well, and then I'll buy all of these. I'm going to ban the Terrified Onion. This is a very inefficient item, and we get a free reroll, so we can ban it for value. I think I want to keep 3 incendiary turrets, so I'll buy the level 1 wrench, and we'll combine to a level 4. Then we'll roll here. I will buy some more knockback. Wheelbarrow this late, I think we can pass on, so I'm just going to go ahead and ban that and go to the next wave. Obviously, the wheelbarrow is nice, but I do want to ban level 2 items. And we don't need the harvesting at this point. We have a pretty solid economy. Still hoping to see a bottom mine. That's the item that I would like to see the most. I'm curious how this rat's been doing. We've bought a lot of move speed, so the rat's moving really fast. My max HP is very poor, so it's not getting a lot of value from its actual damage, but overall I think it's probably doing pretty well. One thing that we haven't found on this character at all, unfortunately, is increased enemy spawns. And when you start with reduced enemy spawns, that's by far the most impactful thing for your economy, is increasing that. So if we had found anything that did that, it would be a huge increase to our power level. Looks like we only got 3 elemental damage from the Will-O-Wisp last wave. A little disappointing. I was expecting to get 4. I'll take 3 more armor, though. That's great. We'll take a fish hook, boxing glove, and a wrench. Reroll here. Buy another wrench. Sunken Bell can be okay on this character. It does basically explode the whole map. but I just don't think it's what we're really looking for at this point. I will lock Wrench and Clover, and then 24 is a pretty expensive reroll, so we'll pass on that. Alright, so I've managed to pick up a good amount of armor. I need a little more max HP, and I need a lot more regeneration. Currently, our healing is the weak point for this build, especially as we get closer to the elite. We've been able to get a little greedier and not buy as many defensive stats as we would if we had elite earlier. Because the way that the old works, you really need defensive stats to fight elites. Especially in an engineering build where you're not going to be able to just, like, one-tap it before it gets to you. I'm trying to push this to where the turrets will take it out, and we did. But since we had 2 Horde waves as our starting waves, we were able to get a little greedier and ignore defensive stats for a little bit longer. I'll take 10% damage, mostly because the curse is really good here, and then let's reroll. Alright, we'll start taking some regeneration and building that up. We'll buy the Clover, and I'll just get another explosive turret. With explosion size on our plastic explosives, explosive turret will help us clear the Horde wave very well. We'll also keep upgrading our wrenches. We'll buy Snail for the same reason that Ugly Tooth is good. Snail is also good. That means that enemies who have been hit by our attacks and enemies who've been hit by our attacks and are suffering from the snail movement penalty and the old's inherent movement penalty will be moving at less than 50% of their normal speed. That makes them a lot easier to dodge. Taking a lot of hits here, so you can see, again, we need a little bit more in the way of healing to recover that damage. But this is a Horde wave, so we expect to take a little more damage. What I'm mostly focusing on is trying to pick up materials, since you can see that these pockets of materials are getting spawned, and I'm trying to get to them without putting myself in too much danger. We want to not leave too many on the ground. We left 100, but that's okay. Do I want to build dodge? We have 4% dodge already. I think we can get away with building dodge on this character. We got a +9 dodge. Okay, well, our fishhook went off really well. The snail is an incredible thing to curse, because the -12% is a very relevant amount of enemy move speed reduction. And between that and the Ugly Tooth and the old, that's what, 60% total reduction? I guess it's 20 there, 10 there, and then 25 there. So 55% move speed reduction, which means enemies are just going to be going super, super slow. I'll take the Cursed Whetstone. Cursed items are really good, even though we did want knockback. We've got still positive knockback. Or the lifesteal that we got from the Whetstone, 7 lifesteal is actually a lot. And 3 curse is very good as well. Okay, here we go. We got a Catling gun, so I'm going to buy this. It only does 9 damage a shot currently, because my range damage is negative. But what I'm actually going to do here, I think, is buy the mutation. That cost me 3 knockback, but that's less of an important plan for us right now. And getting our ranged damage back to normal and our elemental damage higher for our Scared Sausage, I think is going to make those a pretty important part of our plan. The downside of engineering builds with pets, of course, is that pets want you to build % damage and other damage types, which one of the major advantages of engineering builds is you don't have to focus on % damage and crit. Or attack speed. Attack speed is still good, but you don't need as much of it as a normal build does. Whereas the pets want you to buy all of those stats except attack speed, so you end up being a little more multi-attribute dependent. And just like this cat, that can get you mad. But I think it's still worth it, because the plans synergize so well. The pets do kind of randomized damage around the map, so do the turrets. And the pets are just really efficient damage dealers, so I think that it's still worth it, even if they will then require you to build a little more damage overall. Sadly, this wrench didn't get cursed, but we can go up to another level 4 wrench. We'll buy this one. I'm going to reroll past these. I don't think I need the percent damage from the bone dice, so let's go ahead and ban that, and I'll roll here. And lock Gentle Alien and lock Acid, and then roll again. I want to lock stuff because we have Fish Hook. I'm also going to lock this Jelly. My max HP is really bad, so if we get a Cursed Jelly for plus 2 HP, that's fine. Trying to keep decent damage on the Elite. I think we can kill it with the rat. Or, no, the rats don't aggro to them anymore. But with the cat shooting it and my turrets DPSing it, our fire ticking away, I think we can maybe kill it. No, not quite. It's the halfway mark. It's not at half health yet, so it looks like we're not going to be able to. And as it gets more dangerous in its second half, and this Elite gets a lot more dangerous in its second stage, we're going to have to spend more time running away from it. So we won't quite be able to kill the Elite here. I left the consumables in the top right there, so that when we took damage, we would be able to pick them up and heal back up. And we were indeed able to do that. So we survived the Elite. I'll take the mouse. Additional enemies, very powerful. We have no crit chance currently. Do I want the hunting trophy anyways? I just don't think it's ever going to pay off, and I really don't want to have to buy crit chance. Now take the max HP. Alright, the jelly I'm not buying because it didn't get cursed. The acid, I just got a lot of max HP items. So I think I'm actually going to ban the acid, because it's such an inefficient item overall. And I would rather focus on buying things that really affect our plan. This Greek fire is going to help us kill elites and bosses much faster. The baby elephant is actually very good for us. And again, because we have Fish Hook, I'm going to lock all of these items going into the next wave. We've ended up with some very surprising amount of damage on the baby elephant. I wasn't expecting that to be so good for us, but 20 damage a tick on baby elephant is not bad at all. Have to be very, very careful on this wave in particular. Wave 18 is typically, I think, the hardest wave on Abyssal Terrors, because it has the mini bosses. It has the stargazers and towers. It has pufferfish, and it has the goblin sharks and walruses. So your movement is very constrained by the pufferfish and the various charging enemies. And if you don't have, if you aren't able to chase down the towers, you get the mini boss spawns, and that's super difficult as well. So I think that this is typically the most dangerous wave, the one you're most likely to lose an Abyssal Terrors run on. I'll take 4 elemental damage now. Bowler Hat, at this point, I guess I can still take it. The luck is good. Attack speed and crit chance don't matter that much to us, so I think I'll just take the Bowler's Hat. I'll take 5 regen, because my healing is currently terrible. I'll buy both of these. Oh, I guess I'm not buying the Greek Fire yet. Alright, we'll take one more shot at cursing the Greek Fire, since burning the bosses is how we're gonna play this anyways. If we can curse the Greek Fire or the Scared Sausage, that will be a big help for killing those faster. Then we'll go to wave 19. So the cat is shooting for how much damage? 31? No, 11 a shot. Okay, so it's not doing that much, but it is setting enemies on fire. And they're burning for 31 a tick. The Will-O-Wisp really made these Scared Sausages super powerful. That and getting eye surgery as well. So the Scared Sausages have ended up being a huge part of our plan in the end game here. Have to... Basically, the only thing I'm really worried about dodging is the cursed charging enemies. Everything else we can survive, but those will kill us if I take a couple hits from them. Pretty good movement by me that wave, actually. I'm gonna roll here, and I will just take the attack speed. I think I'll take 8 melee damage as well. Just some extra damage on my weapon attacks will help us kill the bosses faster. Sadly, the fishhook didn't curse the Greek fire, but it's still going to be a lot of damage. I'll take the propeller hat because it's a little more in the way of defensive capabilities, since the luck will give us extra healing. And then we'll keep buying things. Do I want the cauldron? No. And I would have to sell something to buy any more items. Okay, of course we got Cursed Fishhook, Cursed Bandana that we can't buy. These would have been amazing items to find earlier. I'm actually really curious how well we'll do against the bosses. This setup is not good for killing bosses. Our regen is bad, but we have the lifesteal and the cat, which is a lot of healing. 16 lifesteal with the cat is a lot of healing. And we have Greek Fire and double Scared Sausage. So this is one of the weirder setups for fighting bosses that I've had, and I'm very curious as to how strong it'll be. We're just gonna stay away from the bosses. Oh yeah, we're rolling them with the Greek Fire here. So I'm staying away from the bosses at the beginning. I want to keep them on fire as much as possible and let the Greek Fire kind of do its thing. Once they get low, I need to start hitting them with my weapons because I need to kill them quickly. I don't want to spend too much time in these later stages, because it's very hard to dodge all of their attacks in the later stages here, once they've hit stage 2. So I had to have pretty good movement there. That was a relatively difficult boss fight still, because the Greek Fire got them very low, but since it's based on their current health, not their maximum health, the effect that had was moving them into their later stages faster. So the bosses ended up both in their second stage very quickly, which is obviously harder to dodge in the tiny map that the old has. But we were able to get there, and 50k damage on the Greek Fire, so obviously pretty good in the end game. You can compare it to the 2k damage our actual weapons dealt in the last wave. This was a really funny run. We did not get a lot of the weapons or a lot of the items you're usually hoping for on this type of run, but we managed to scrape together a pretty good build anyways. And slowing the enemies with the Ugly Tooth made it easier. The Scared Sausages suddenly doing 100k damage was really funny because the Scared Sausage Will-O-Wisp combo was so good. 29 elemental damage from those, so we ended up with more elemental damage than engineering. And the eye surgery for 35% faster burning damage was also great. We had 67 fruits from the fruit baskets, 7.5k from spicy sauce. Yeah, you can see how poor our economy was from how the coupon only saved us 165. But between a bunch of decent cursed items, the cat only did 10k damage, but it healed us a lot from lifesteal and gave us a lot of extra fire. So I do think that the pets were quite good in this run, even though they themselves didn't do that much damage. The baby elephant was pretty bad, only 4,000 damage, so maybe a mistake to buy that one. Alright, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this look at the old in the new beta update. I'll definitely do another run with the old and maybe go endless or something, try to get a lot more pets. But it was kind of fun putting together this run out of dribs and drabs and making a kind of scrappy underdog run work. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. It helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.